Well, it's the middle of summer, and that means we are in hurricane season, and I want you to know that you can prepare for hurricanes. There's no need to panic. I have an ultimate checklist for you that can keep you and your family safe. So let's go ahead and get right into it. You don't want to miss all of these tips. So the last 72 to 48 hours leading up to a hurricane, you want to make sure that you do several things. The very first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have your emergency energy sources all together. So what do we mean by that? Well, you want to make sure that you have any type of power banks charged. So if you have something that you can charge your cell phone with, like a little solar power charger or things like that, you want to make sure they're charged beforehand. Even your cell phones, make sure that these stay fully charged around the clock. Any type of radios that you have, you want to make sure that there's batteries in those. If you have walkie-talkies, make sure they're charged and ready to go. Anything that you know that you may be able to use, make sure that they are charged. As far as generators, hopefully you have one. If you don't, you might want to go ahead and grab one. Right before a hurricane, it can be a little bit difficult to find, but I would still go out and try and get a generator if you don't have one yet. But once you do have your generator, make sure it's ready to go. Make sure you have enough extension cords and that they're long enough. You want to make sure that you also have whatever type of fuel that your generator takes. Some generators are single fuel, double fuel, tri-fuel. It really just depends on what kind that you have. So if it takes gas, make sure you have that. If it takes diesel, whatever it takes, make sure that you have that stored up. Another thing that's really important as well is to make sure that your generator is in a safe place close to you. We made the mistake not long ago when we were actually surprised by a tornado. We didn't have a generator near us. We actually had to travel pretty far into our yard, into a shop that we have at the back of our acre, and then get that generator. So that wasn't really a fun experience, and it was very, very difficult. We actually had to go and get a smaller generator just so that it was a little bit more portable at the time. And that was a big lesson for us. So make sure that the generator is not far. Obviously, you're not going to use it indoors in a confined space. You don't want it to be next to windows. You want to make sure that it's outside when you're using it, in a safe distance away from your home, windows and doors, but you want it to be close enough that when you do need it, you can go and get it. And then what about besides electronics? How about having meals and laundry all done? So you might think, okay, I'm not worrying about laundry right now when there's a hurricane coming, but if you have your laundry room filled with dirty clothes, you're going to want to make sure that you have clean clothes ready to go, because a lot of times with a hurricane, power is knocked out and you don't know how long you're not going to have power for, which makes washing clothes that much more difficult. So at least to kind of go into this as worry-free as possible, which is a little bit hard because it's not easy to just stay calm every second when a natural disaster is on its way. But you can take one less worry off by making sure that you have clean clothes. And as far as food goes, make sure you have some meals already prepared. You might want to make sure you have some meals already cooked. They can be stored in your freezer, and then if you just have to thaw them out and eat them, you're ready to go. I'm really a fan of having canned goods that are easy to eat, anything that's dried like jerky or fruit and nut bars, things that are easy to grab and go. I have a 72-hour survival kit that I just made, and I have a video showing you how you can make yours, and you can click on this link right here to see how that is put together, and you might want to watch that in preparation for your hurricane preps. Also, anything else in your house right now that's dirty or messy, if you have any dishes that you just need to clean, anything else that's just kind of a mess, keep things in order. I would definitely go through the home, make sure everything is clean and ready to go. That way it's a fresh slate for when you could be home for a while, potentially without any power. Next, you want to make sure that all of your vehicles have enough gas in them. So take a trip to the gas station, hopefully not the day of the hurricane. Take a trip before that and make sure you top off all of your vehicles. You don't want to be caught with a low supply of fuel. Sometimes people are waiting for hours trying to get gas at a gas station. You don't want to be caught up in that line. Make sure you go in advance. And also, if you can get a 5-gallon little red tank that you can fill with extra gas, go ahead and do that. If you have a couple, fill those up as well, because you don't know when gas may be restored back to the gas stations, when there's going to be power. You don't know what really can happen, so it's better to have a little bit extra on your side in case at some point you do need to go and you have enough gas for yourself. Okay, now let's talk about getting your home prepared. So are your windows boarded up? Can you board them up? Or do you need to go ahead and put tape across your windows? So those are some things you want to consider. If you cannot board up your windows, you want to make sure that if the glass does break, it doesn't shatter all over your home. So that's why you can use blue painter's tape to go ahead and just cross over all of your windows, and it will help with that impact. The next thing that you want to do is bring in things that are outside in the yard, put them away. So if you have plants, bird feeders, wind chimes, if you have chairs, a barbecue, a bonfire pit, anything that's loose in your yard around that can just blow away very easily, you want to get those put away. Bring them inside, put them in a garage, just get them to a safe place. You want to consider your gutters that you have at your house. So clear those out beforehand. Be prepared to clean up debris. So have bags, rakes, anything that you can think of that you can use to clean up any mess after the storm. Look for dead tree branches that should be cut and trimmed now. Typically in any major storm, you're going to have a lot of limbs broken off of trees, especially those that are already dead or weak, and they'll just be flown all over your yard. They can cause a lot of damage to your vehicles and your home, can also be very dangerous to any people that are around. So you want to make sure that if you see that, try and take care of that before the hurricane. Another really good tip is to have tarps on hand. Tarps are very ideal to have when you are faced with any situation that you could be dealing with a lot of water. So they can be used to help with any leaks on the roof, to cover different things. It's really, really beneficial to have tarps. So have a couple of them on hand, ready to go for whatever use you may feel it's suitable for. Also, you want to remember about your pets. So make sure that you have extra food for them. If they are afraid of storms, which many pets are, you want to make sure that they are inside and safe with you if they can be. So definitely dogs and cats, you want to bring them inside. And if you have other livestock that is outdoors, make sure they are safely contained, because it can be a very dangerous situation for them. So a couple more tips that are essential for a hurricane preparation checklist. You want to make sure, again, that your kit that you have, like a 72-hour survival kit, has food, water, medication, flashlights, a radio. Park your vehicles maybe in an area that they wouldn't be too damaged from a storm. So if you have a garage, get them in as well. And you want to make sure that you have enough water for each of your family members and your pets. A rule of thumb is to have at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. So make sure that you take into account that you may be without power and unable to go anywhere for several days. Or if you do make it to a grocery store, they could be sold out. So get your preps now. So the one thing that is beneficial with hurricanes is that typically you do get a warning. So you want to heed those warnings. And remember, if you are advised to evacuate, please listen to those recommendations. Once you know that you're in the path of a hurricane, it's definitely the time to start getting prepared. So make sure that you're proactive and not reactive. And this is going to help you out, and it will reduce the amount of stress that you are going through during the hurricane. So I hope you found this video valuable. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to catch you in the next video. Take care, friends.